If you are looking to expand on your laser business, then personalized dart flights are really the way to go at the moment. Darts has never been more popular, and it's something that's cheap and easy to do. All you need is an IR laser. You need your images, your logos, and just follow this video all the way through, because I'm going to show you through the setup process on the actual machine. We're then going to move over to xTool Studio setup. We're going to import our images. We're going to adjust them. We're going to apply our optimized tested material settings. And then finally, we're going to engrave it and show you the results and talk you through the results. If that sounds like something you would love to learn, then stay tuned, because I'm going to show you absolutely everything. Let's start off with what we're going to be engraving on today. So these are the K Flex dart flights. They come in various different shapes and sizes. This is the number 2 shape and this is the number 6 shape. They are both the short variants. However, you can get medium and long ones. But in this case, these are black and the color is very important. We're going to be using our fiber laser, or in this case, an infrared laser. And it's important to get a dark color because not all colors will engrave on a fiber or an IR. We are going to be using the xTool F2 for this. However, you can do it on any fiber or IR laser, so just take that. If you haven't got this laser, stay with us because all of these things will apply to you. For the demonstration today, I will be using the number 6 short 19mm ones. One thing I will say as well is when you handle these, handle them with care because they get fingerprints on them very easily and you want to maintain a nice clean surface. So let's set it up on our F2. One of the biggest challenges of engraving a dart flight is the actual positioning. If you just place it on the bed, it's really difficult. You could use blue tack to try and place it, but you need it exact every time. In this case, I have a jig that I have designed, and that is specifically designed to house these dart flights, and it allows them to sit flush and horizontal and be in the same position every time to ensure you get accurate, repeatable results. And all it does is slots in place of the F2 base plate. It also works on the F1 as well. Once you have your dart flight in place, then we want to manually focus the laser using the knob on the side of the machine just here. We want to join up those 2 dots. It's quite challenging because of the flight down the middle, but just pull the dart to the side, focus the laser on top, and you're good. Once you know that distance, you can apply it in xTool Studio every time, and you won't have to manually do this again. So we're in xTool Studio, but before we get started, I want to make one thing clear first. The images I'm using and the logos I might be using in this video are for educational purposes only. Obviously, for images like Luke Littler in this case, he is copyrighted, and you can't just put his image on stuff and sell it. You need to make sure you've got commercial licenses for everything that you use when you're selling. So that being said, let's move on. We're going to click New Project in the top right. You should hear the machine beep behind me in a second, and that means we are connected with the xTool F2. It will take a photo, as you can see there. With other machines, it might not. Let's move forward. We are in our workspace, and the first thing I want to draw your attention to is this focusing height. So this is my focusing height from the top of the dart to where the laser needs to be, having the dots both joined together, and it is 19.5 millimeters. Whatever yours is, make sure you take note, because every time you do this from that point onwards, you can just put that number straight into that field, and then you don't have to manually focus. That's a really, really important step. Now that we have our focus set and we're happy with that, we need to set our material to something similar to the actual item we're engraving on. This is a black plastic, so we need to find something that's black and plastic. And you want to click on the material logo there. And then within that, it's going to bring up the material library. I have found one here called black to white laser engraving. I recommend using this. And there's a very important reason for this, which I'll show to you in a second. So click the apply button. That will then apply it to our materials at the top right. Now we can move on to our next step. When it comes to importing our image, we need to make sure that the image processing, so the adjustments it does to the color, the sharpness, the contrast, are the correct type of adjustments for the material color and for the material type. So we need a similar material to get started, because now what we're going to do is import our image over here. And to do that, we need to click the plus thing. And then I have got a number of images. One thing I want to quickly show you as well is I have actually started up with an image from Google, and I have used a background remover, Adobe Express in this case, to remove that background. So we're going to be importing the removed one in here, and it is this file here. It's going to come in larger than what we expected, but that is absolutely fine. Drag it down, zoom in, and then what we're going to do is use the crop function to crop as close to the edge of the image as possible. This is good for framing purposes because it allows you to frame exactly around the space of the image. So as you can see, our image isn't going to fit nicely on there. There's a trick that I use to actually get it to fit really nicely. Position your picture roughly where you want it. So I want the finger slightly to the right. I want his face fairly central along the middle fin on that. And that should be pretty good. And now the next thing I'm going to do is I am actually going to use the vector pen tool to draw roughly. It doesn't have to be exact, but it's going to be roughly around this dart area just here. So I'm going to mimic the perimeter of the dart. Like I said, this doesn't have to be exact. And all I'm doing is drawing a line, clicking when I'm happy with its position, drawing another line, clicking again, and doing that all the way around. And you'll see why in a second. Then we're going to come back down here. And then finally, we're going to rejoin. We're going to right click and click done. What that's done is it's created a perimeter now. And what it's going to allow me to do, if I draw a box around both parts, right click and do create mask, it's now going to mask the parts of the image that don't follow the contour of the dart flight. That's really important because what it does now, look, is it allows us to have our dart loosely positioned, and you can change the shape in it of it still. You can change the shape still, but now you can see it basically mimics the contour. You can go into much finer detail than I have there. I'm just quickly showing you how that works. So now we know that point. We are going to move on to our image adjustment, getting it primed, ready to laser engrave. So this used to be a bit of a complicated process, but xTool have made it much simpler in recent times with the xTool Studio update. Click on the adjust icon there after selecting your image, and we are going to use the built-in auto adjust. And this is where, if I zoom in now, this is where it's so important for us to actually set that material up front, because it means now when we click our auto adjust button up in the top left, it is going to automatically know what it needs to do to make this work. So let's zoom out. We'll click that button, and now you'll see it's inverted the image, which is important on dark objects. It's also adjusted the contrast, the sharpness, and the brightness, and that should now be primed and ready to engrave. So that's our first step done. Now that we've got our image set up, it's the material settings time, but I need to tell you important information that will be critical in your success. So the first thing is make sure your darts are black or dark colored, because the light ones or transparent ones won't work. Also, if you want to learn logos and text and font to personalize your darts, then that's coming after this. So make sure you stick around to that. And I've got a really cool trick to show you at the end, which is going to really add a string to your bow. And that is taking some cool text, fonts, or logos and turning them from images into vector images, which are much easier to engrave. So if you want to learn that, stick around. Let's move on to this part now where I show you the materials. So we have got a plastic dart setup. If you're not sure how to set up your own material, check out the tutorials and the range of project videos on our channel. But this is where I'm going. And in this, I will show you now my image portrait settings. As you can see here, we are using infrared laser. So that's very important. If you use the blue laser, it will melt. You need an infrared or a fiber laser. We have got dot duration 85. That is the amount of time the dot is engraving for. Images are lots of little dots. 97% power, 405 dots per inch, and Jarvis bitmap mode. Very, very important settings. That's what we're using. So let's move on now. Now that you've got those set up for images, now we need to frame this to make sure it's going to fit on our dart flight and not miss the target. So let's do that. No pun intended. So as you can see, the outline is perfectly placed. It follows the contour of the dart. I'm happy to move forward with this one. We've framed our design. We're happy with it. What we need to do now is go to this process button here, and you can adjust it if you want to. I'm going to be using the default process settings. So we're going to click that button. It's going to bring us up. It's going to tell us our estimated time, which as you can see is 32 seconds, really, really quick. If you want to see the processing path, you can, and you can drag it along and see how it's going to engrave. And then once you're happy with it, click that start button and let's take a look at how it engraves. I also wanted to say I will be engraving with the lid up, but I am going to make sure I have laser safety glasses on. So either close the lid or make sure you wear them. And also you want proper extraction out the back because plastic can produce fumes. So safety first, ensure that you have those 2 points covered. We've got our finished engraving flight. So one thing I will say is with these darts, what I recommend doing is taking it out, rotating it, pushing it to the back, and then doing the same engraving over and over. And what that will give you is the really cool effect of it being engraved all the way around. So I'm going to quickly do a time lapse now and show you those next steps. Here is the result of the image, and because we've rotated it and engraved each flight, it shows that we have a great continuous image which looks absolutely outstanding. Let's move on to our logos. Let's take a little break because I've got something important to say. I just wanted to thank every single one of you for supporting the channel up to this point. If my videos are really helpful to you and you're learning, please give a little something back and subscribe to the channel. It means the world. And also, if you would like early access to videos, shout outs, exclusive discounts and other member benefits, join the channel's membership and become part of the L3D crew. Anyway, let's get back to that video. So now that we've finished our image engraving, let's move on to logos, vectors, text. Let me show you the settings because they are very different and they work very differently. So the first thing we are going to do is import a logo. This is something I actually got from a website called Creative Fabrica. It has a lot of commercially ready designs on there, so you could actually use this one to sell. But I just wanted to do it because it's a nice example and it is related to the Dart theme, which is even better. So the first thing we're going to do is update our image because I have placed a new Dart in there and you can see it's positioned slightly differently. Then once we've done that, I will change the color of this and zoom in a little bit just so that you can see what we're engraving. But I'm just going to basically drag this as big as I can get away with. In this case, we're not so worried about it being perfect. It just needs to show you the right settings and the right process. So you'll see with a vector image or text, you get different settings. On the right, you'll see you get power, speed, and lines per centimeter, very different to the images, which is why it's important for me to show you this step. So what I actually want to do with this one, this looks really good. I'd like to actually add in a really cool text. And if you wanted to personalize the darts and add in a signature or something, you could take a picture of your signature and do what I'm about to show you. And this is the trick. Okay, so I've already got an image off of the internet, and this is a really cool way of saying Chris. There's nothing like super special about it, but it's, you know, it's cool enough. And as you can see, if we go back over here now, it gives us dot duration, power, and DPI because it is technically an image, all right? So what I want to do is find a way to get that as an actual text vector. And the way to do it in xTool Studio is to use the trace function at the top here. I'll zoom in and show you it. That trace function will allow us to actually trace around it and create a logo or create a vector image of our PNG image. So as you can see, it gives you the default settings. In this case, it's produced a nice outline of what we want. I'm going to click save. Then I will drag away my newly created vector image that you can see right there. We need to click engrave, but as you can see, it looks identical. But the key thing is, look at these settings on the right as I do this. This is our vector. This is our image, and it gives you different settings every single time. And that is why we want to make stuff vectors if possible. Okay, so now we've done that, I can shrink it down and I can place it. I mean, ideally, what I would like to do in this case is put some text curving around it. So we will do that actually. What I'll do is I'll put my name down there. So this could be a darts team that you want to make personalized darts for. We'll put my name there, and then I'm going to add my own custom text by clicking that text icon box over there. And then I'm going to put it in here and just type in L3D team. All right, I'm just going to put that for now, you know. Let's keep it simple. Let's go to engrave, and then I'm going to pick a nice font that is going to look good on this. I'll go really quick. I don't want to waste too much time. Aclonica is what we've used over here. You'll see that Aclonica. I like it. And then what I'm going to do is drag it. I'm going to change the color of this to light blue just so it's easy for you guys to see. I'm going to centrally locate it. And then this little bit here, and this is another good thing about working with vector images, we can then curve it around into our team logo. And look at that. We've now got a completely personalized dart made in 2 minutes that you can make for your own personal team or for gifts for people. And I'll change the color of that just so you can see it. And there you go. You could change the name for each person and do what you want here. So there you go. We have it lined up and set up. Now what we need to do, we don't need to do any image processing. We just need our settings. And let me show you those right now. So what we're going to do, we are going to select everything. And then over here, I am going to select text and logo. Let me show you these settings because they are critical and they are not easy to get right. So what I am doing, I'm using the infrared light. We're using 40% power, 1,250 speed, 2 passes. That's very important. And 200 lines per centimeter. That should give us a nice white contrasting logo onto that dart. So the next thing we need to do is frame it. I'm not going to take you through the framing process again because we did it earlier, but I want you to know I did frame this. So let's move on and I'll show you the engraving. And there you have our logo engraving, looking brilliant. You can definitely implement that into so many things. Here are both of our finished results, and I think you will agree this is something that you can definitely add to your business bow, because you can make some money off doing this and do some really great things. So there you have it. We have our personalized dart flights. You've learned something new today. If you would like to learn this or get a laser to do this yourself, check out the affiliate links down below. It supports the channel. It's something we really appreciate you doing for us, and also it means you can get yourself up and running and do this yourself. Thank you so much for watching today. If you'd like to learn more about other projects, check out, subscribe to the channel. I've done a full range of different materials and different tests, and I'm sharing all of my knowledge with you to help you hit the ground running and make a success of this new venture that you're getting into. If you want extra help, we have a Facebook community, we have an F2 owners group, we have an F series group where you can check those links out in the description below and you can join, and we have a community of really helpful people. So once again, thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.